have so much
at the end of the round, the remaining assassin will take his villain action after I catch you up. Last time you guys were inside Nature's Hold, you ended up getting some extra potential missions or rewards on your upcoming travel to the Storm Giants. All I kept thinking was Frost Giants for some reason. Then you guys took the corpse of the Valkyrie and made it friendly ally, and then sent it off into the woods to stop scaring people. You ended up brokering a meeting between the Black Staff of Waterdeep and a stand-in for Brian, something that seems to have more depth behind it than you may realize with the Sworn. You ended up inside the teleport room when Kane showed up with a battered and bloodied Eve, and a fight commenced when everyone noticed that could not be surprised. Someone was attacking Brine, or who they thought to be Brine, and there was 4 assassins, and they used a special glyph to summon a Gaestro. And you guys have started a fight since. And you guys are in the middle of that fight. We've just ended a round of combat. Kane is at the top of the round, but the end of the round is a villain action by the last remaining assassin. He is going to take out a mirror and turn it facing all of you, and he does a little shot with it, and then throws it to the ground and shatters it. That'll end his turn.
Counterspell.
You can't counterspell it. You're also Mosnell. It is now.
He can counterspell. Come on. How hard could it be?
He's got the intelligence to be a wizard.
Does he really?
Sitting there with his beer, just thinking real hard about it.
I don't think so.
All right.
Real hard.
We are going to start with Kane going off with his flame sword.
Kane the Brain.
That's 20.
I believe 1 is gonna hit. Oh, he do him reckless though. He's a kind of crazy cat.
He is.
Still only 1 hits. That was rough, Kane. So then he'll get his. I believe it's the 12. 11. It's 18 points of damage to your boy. To your boy Gaestro.
Is it fire damage?
It is fire damage. So that will be that number. That will be that number. I can do math still. That's terrific. Okay. And that will end Kane's turn, so it is now Ulazal's turn.
Ah! I thought I was in the middle of the pack.
Nope.
Okay. How do I want to do this?
Wrong. It's time to attack. You don't get to murder.
Yeah.
Murder.
I'm concentrating on Holy Weapon for Bellona's Holy Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to... How are my allies looking?
Ares looking really, really rough. The Gaestro, if you remember, laid into him last round and was really trying to enact a lot of damage on him.
Right. I will roll up to my homie, Ares, and I will cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
All right. You take no... Actually, I could probably edit his character sheet because I am an all-powerful DM in D&D Beyond. Zenya.
Is there your...
Gets healed for 18 damage.
All right.
18 healing.
The lights of tears shine down, glowing from your hand, and heal his wounds for 18 damage. Ari thanks you and feels a lot better.
Good.
He's right next to you. You're right by the teleporter pad. Aries, the green hood one to your left. That's Bellona. I was right.
So I would have to use 10 feet to come over here.
Yep.
So I'll start 5, 10, 15, 20 feet, making my way over to Mosnell.
Okay.
Because he's probably going to need my good touch.
Probably. So that will now be Salem's turn. Salem is going to take 2 attacks with his swords. I'm pretty sure he does dual wielding.
Get him!
I don't remember what dual wielding. What
You
can
get to
take a
add
bonus.
proficiency with both.
proficiency.
Yes, and you can use a
So like
bonus action
you
to
just
make
add his
another
dex
attack.
mod.
His dex mod. All right, let me get that up. I have that.
He is dual wielding.
He is dual wielding. He has 2 swords drawn. You hear
Is
the
his fighting style also dual wielding?
yes.
he can take a bonus action to attack
Zach, you had
after
more
using
of
the
that
attack
lemonade
action.
than I had.
Thank you.
But he does not get to add any modifiers to the damage.
Okay.
It's in there.
I knew one of you would remember. I didn't have it in front of me, and I didn't want to spend all the time reading it.
Tellius does it, man.
What kind of building are you?
So I just got to get. So I put Salem.
It's
Oh,
the
I never made
teleporter
Salem. That's
came
right.
north.
But
Oh,
I
you
know
never
who
made
would
Salem? What the?
Well, Salem was in a mountain. I did make him, but for the I thought I had his thing up for the
You
other
didn't
one
make
shot.
Salem?
So it's 4,
Yeah.
4, 7. So one hits.
For him?
One hits for
Just
Salem.
make sure you're in range.
So then we will do
Spell.
his
So
D8.
it might be too far.
Maybe.
That's 4 plus his
But you can
modifier, so
move.
10 points of damage to Gaestro, and then thanks to his bonus attack, he'll go for one more. He's dual wielding. That'll hit. Cool. So I just said it was 10 plus. Oh wow, that's a good one too. 14, 15, 16. So 26 points of damage from Salem.
Get him, Salem!
As he starts carving into Gaestro, you see him with all these really fancy footwork. For somebody that's not magical, he has to make up for it with extreme talent in the way he wields his blades.
Hunter is on his way.
Dope sauce. Hunter's a cool person.
You're a cool person.
All right. Huh. So now it is Bologna's turn at 20 initiative. As you see,
What's alive?
Gaestro and an assassin.
Where's the assassin?
He is right next to Gaestro, who he looks like Percy from.
This guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Need a burrito.
From the one show.
Yeah, that show that has had absolutely no impact on my life. Just like the previous episode had no impact on this game. That one shot was meaningless. Nothing of anything happened.
That's right.
Nothing.
Nothing important.
Nothing.
We're gonna do a bonus action here to cast spiritual weapon at
Mm-hmm.
the old. Let's do it at the old 4th level here.
All right.
Beefy.
You can use the fairy fire thing marker already on the board to show where it wants to spawn.
Where do you want it to spawn? It's got to be like within 20 feet of you, right?
60 feet. Okay.
Nice.
So
You got range, boy.
yeah.
Cams look good today.
Blap! Blap, blap!
Oh wow. In this very tall, still war-torn teleport room above him.
Bro, I forgot what
spawns-
my spiritual weapon looks like.
You did?
Make it up.
Yeah.
I was giving it
I'm
to you
pretty
right
sure
now.
it was a hunting spear or something like that.
Yes, it was. That
I'm
sounds
the
right
best.
to me.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that, and we will see a nice little ethereal, watery blue spear-looking thing appear. Yeah.
I wonder what's
You
gonna
know, it
happen
forms even like above it. You point with your crossbows to have
Yeah.
it summon
just,
above,
like, yeah.
and like a rain crowd. You start seeing rain fall, but instead of falling to the ground, it's forming into the spear.
Ooh, I like that. Yes, that's exactly how it happens.
Yes.
I didn't say it, but that's how it happens.
Yes, it did.
It was implied.
Yes, it was. He made that happen.
All right, so we'll really attack on that
Yeah.
first. Ooh, that's not very high.
What is it?
It's a 9 plus 7. I'm gonna blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna channel divinity to add plus 10 to that.
Okay.
next. 26 total, right?
I think
Yeah.
that'll hit then.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Um,
So this, at first, the spear goes and the skin is too tough, and then Bellona channels the divinity of her god, and all of a sudden you see the rain like pick up a little bit, and you hear like a little, you like push it in, like a storm having an effect on it, or more the hunt rather. I'm combining them because I gotta have so many things sorted. The hunt, all the damn gods.
so that's 11 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I'll attack with my crossbows.
Gat, gat.
Do it.
Gat for sure. At the Gaestro.
Is one action? So what? Just keep
It's
me
a
up to
bonus.
bonus
It's a bonus
action.
action to cast spiritual weapon
Yep.
and attack. You can bonus action cast it and attack with it as you cast it.
Okay.
And then I'm using my action to attack
Normal
with
attack.
my
Okay. Just making
crossbow
sure.
Here. No, you're cool.
I like to keep track.
So pew.
All right. So then leaning back, off go your crossbows toward the 20-meter tall. So that's like 60 feet.
It's really
So
tall.
an 18 and a 22.
That's what they wrote. That's how big he
So
is.
an 18 and a 22 to hit.
An 18 and 22, only 22 hits.
Lame.
Really? Wow.
It's because it like the arrow hits him but doesn't pierce the hide.
I see.
These are siege monsters typically too.
And then I get 2d8 for
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah, 2d8 extra.
Okay. So
That's a d10.
that's oh, sorry, one of them was the d10. You're right.
I got you. Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Zach.
worse. I'm sorry.
You are the best.
Double ones.
Yep.
Brutal.
You are the best, Zach.
stupid mouth shut.
Yeah. Okay.
Your god is lame.
Yeah,
Hey,
tier is horrible. I roll ones on all my damage.
Oh,
Oh my god.
So
so
You
that's
get more than
what.
one attack though?
only one hit.
Yep.
So that's 5 piercing.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, 5 piercing, and then 2 radiant.
Wow.
God.
I know, whopping
Wow.
whopping amounts of damage out here.
He's looking hurt though, but wow, that arrow just did damage to a point where it's like, yeah, he's already hurt. He's already hurting.
We'll use some movement to go. Sounds good.
Okay.
Does it
All right.
look like the radiant damage is having more of an effect than normal?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure if any creatures actually have
Vulnerabilities.
vulnerabilities in the normal monster manual.
Yeah, it's kind of
I almost never see. I can't recall a time I've seen vulnerabilities. I've given vulnerabilities.
Good.
But that's
That's
about
it.
that. All right.
That's
Um,
the turn.
It's Belfina's turn, then the assassin's turn.
Sometimes you just.
You're behind this pillar right now.
Yeah. So how far away am I?
You would be from the monster.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75.
Okay. So this is gonna be so cool if it works. So I'm going to cast Erupting Earth.
Ooh.
Which is like a 20 feet. It creates like a volcano, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's
of
like
course.
yeah, naturally,
Naturally,
20
I
foot
knew that would.
square, and so ideally it's gonna hit everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah,
The
everyone.
entire room.
like everyone or just
That seems
just
excessive.
the people that aren't your friends.
The not friend, everyone's.
He takes up 10 feet alone in a square, so 10 more feet. You can hit it, so it'll hit. It will hit everybody, not Kane and not a sworn, but you will end up getting Salem in an attack.
Oh, Salem, what are you doing?
He's flanking him right now. But you can hit the assassin and Salem and the big guy with that attack.
Just
Is
kill
Salem a
We don't
rogue?
need him.
Salem might be a rogue.
He's not a rogue.
He might be a
We
monk.
don't actually need
He's
Salem.
not a monk.
Well,
He's
I'm
definitely a
going
fighter.
to cast
He's a
it.
ranger.
All right, go for it.
Get that
Hopefully
big
you
one
don't
up.
kill Salem.
So and
Clearly.
then looks like it's just a dex save of 17.
All
Oh,
right.
Salem's
Salem can make
fine.
that.
He can do it.
Salem can make anything.
Come on, he's roguish.
He's fought Orlith. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 for Salem.
See? We told you.
So he takes half damage.
Natural one for the assassin.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
How embarrassing.
And a 13 for Gaystro.
So
Nice.
Fail. Say fail.
Excellent.
perfect.
You guys got one.
Actually,
That's exactly what we wanted to happen.
D12?
Perfect timing.
I got you. Why are you throwing our dice bag around, dude?
well, I was gonna just grab one out of there, and then it's like, well,
As
Zach
a-
has one easily accessible.
Boom.
Hit him with a slap.
Nice.
So
I mean-
13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Half.
So 16 points of damage for everyone that didn't save,
Okie dokie.
and then 8 for
Salem.
Salem.
Ain't bad at all then. Nice. That one, and then he takes 16.
Each
Salem takes
5
8.
foot square portion of the area requires at least 1 minute to clear by hand.
1 minute to clear by hand.
Is
So
it
what?
difficult terrain?
Yes.
I would think so.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Anything else to it? Can they just easily get out of it, or just difficult terrain? So they just twice their movement to get out of it.
I think so.
All right. So from the ground, Belfina stands back, holds up her staff, looks towards the Gaestro, and out from the ground erupts a volcano. Mini volcano. But it comes out, and you see all this like fire start burning into the Gaestro and the assassin, each of them caught up into this hole, and it starts closing down on it as it instantly cools off, burning them and then settling. Salem bounces back from the area. He doesn't get the burns, but he still gets like the impact of the force from this thing erupting out of the ground. So he takes less damage.
So that was cool.
That was super cool.
Nice.
Now it's the assassin's turn. The assassin is going to see his comrades fallen and
Don't you run.
take out a pill and bite it.
Oh, you little
LOL.
bitch. He's killing himself. Not on my watch!
He
Cyanide
drops dead.
I use my reaction to spare the dying.
Oh my god, are you
have to do a
serious?
touch
I
range.
can't. I have to
Alright.
get
I don't
touch.
think that's a reaction.
It's
is
not
it?
a reaction.
You can
have to
knock
touch
him
them.
prone. He is at 0 hit points.
What a bitch.
And fading. That ends his turn. It is now Ralia's turn. We'll get Ralia's up and see what
She's
wants to do.
gonna.
She'd probably chill touch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Eldritch Blast.
Chill touch sounds right to me. Chill touch the big guy.
Yeah, he's the only one left, I think.
Only one left.
All right. So we will go to this campaign. Chill touch is a ranged magic attack.
I believe.
I think it might be a.
Save.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a save. Okay.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
It's the skeletal hand that grabs.
Yeah.
It is.
How many does just one per turn?
I think it's. I don't know. don't
One
actually know.
action, you create a ghostly skeletal hand. Yep.
Would you not throw things in?
Creature must make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with chill. So yeah, no, it's a ranged. Okay. It's a cat. So then I just gotta see what the modifier is.
How much damage does it do?
3d8,
Yeah.
That sounds right.
She's level 12.
That sounds right.
and
That sounds correct.
looks like a +9 modifier to hit.
Sounds right.
That sounds correct.
So she is rolling 1 chill touch, gets attacks per action 1. Yep. Okay, I'm good. So she's trying to hit Geist.
The good touch.
And 23.
Nice.
She hits.
Got him.
Why is she so good?
Because Luke made her. That's basically it. That's all gotta
You
know.
say that like the rest of our characters aren't good.
Well, you look at how Luke kills things, and then look at the rest of you.
I remember the order.
I
of the
killed
fight.
just
That's all I'm
fine.
gonna say.
That's fair. That is 13, 14, 15 points of necrotic damage.
Well done,
Well done,
lass. Well done, lass.
God.
13, 8.
All
All right. As it starts,
Never mind.
as the ghastly hand comes out and touches the side of it, you can see the Gaestro's like left arm, all of its muscle just deflate, and
Oh.
it's looking terrible. The creature seems to be in a awful state, but still only focused on its hunger to try and eat all of you. It's still muttering tons of disgusting things in abyssal that is quite uncomfortable about its. Oh, I forgot the word for it, but it's massive, it's large appetite, it's unclenchable appetite for flesh.
My hunger grows.
They're gross. They really
Yeah.
are.
Demons.
All right, so now
The
it
beast.
is Mosnell's turn.
Kill it.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric's last in
I
initiative. so
run
this
up to
actually
the
works really well.
Gaestro,
Yep.
and I took 2 reckless swings at it.
All right, go for it.
So reckless of you.
Wait, when's Gaestro's turn? Oh, it's right after you. Dang it.
Kill him.
No.
It's kill or be killed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I-
First one's a 16.
What do you got?
I said, the first one's a 16.
Does not hit.
Didn't think so. Second one is a 28.
That hits.
Get
Oh,
him.
that hits to the extreme.
Seeing
His
as
first-
he is 60 feet tall, would he qualify as giant?
I mean, he is giant, but it only affects giant kind. We've had this
Yeah, I know, I
conversation.
know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Because I wanted to give it initially, and everyone's like, Luke and Hunter were like,
It's not lore friendly.
Giant refers to any creature with the giant type including
Yeah.
Ettins and trolls.
Yeah, so he's
He's a huge fiend.
Yeah, he's a fiend.
Okay.
Aren't all fiends huge these days?
I just thought I'd look it up to be
The ones
clear.
I buy,
I know.
yes.
It seems like they're all just massive.
I don't buy normal ones because they're not fun. When you slap down one of those guys on the table, you're like, yeah!
Yeah.
We're gonna kill that! There is no question.
It's 11 points of damage.
All right.
Need more.
It's looking
And-
real rough.
Same.
As the first attack goes to hit into the Gaestro, it catches your axe with its hand, and then you take it out, and then you go for the weaker hand, and you just slap off one of its, a little past the wrist. It just slaps onto the floor, and its demon blood is like burning as it comes out. You can see on the floor itself, it's burning all the, the dust and gravel that came up from the dirt of the volcano. Belfina summoned.
Ha! Looks like you could use a hand.
Ah, got him, dude.
Gaestro
Got
is like,
him.
I'm gonna eat you because of that! And he's gonna take all his attacks against you at advantage.
Bologna is going to facepalm with her crossbow.
Alright, here we go. Okay, that blows. One of them. Okay, that's a 26. 26 to hit, a 22 to hit. So those two are going to hit, and then that one. But now I got to roll at advantage. me crits. Nope. But the other one would then be a 15. Does that hit?
Nope.
Okay, so two of them hit. So it's a bite attack for 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and it hits you with its hoof. Oh, yeah, its hoof for 23 points.
Ow.
23.
So it comes down with the one good hand it has. Actually, that makes a lot of good lore sense. Of the other hand that's not off, he tries to hit you with, and you're just like, right. It comes out and claws against you, Mazna, with the other one scratching across your chest again, where you're like, man, I've just been here, just done this not even 24 hours ago, getting beat up again. And then it lifts up its leg higher than you, and you're like, yikes! And you start to move out of the way as it just crushes down onto you, knocking you down, but you easily get back up in this scenario because it's more cinematic, and I'm not going to charge you for prone. So, that will now bring up Ares' turn.
Airy, berry, bowberry, banana, fairy.
Airy is...
Fee,
This is
fa, fairy.
ludicrous.
It's airy.
Ares probably going to kill.
Shoot him.
Airy is going to take an attack against him. Since he's engaged, he will get sneak attack. He's engaged with 3 different creatures.
Yes, he is.
He's also flanked.
Oh, I forgot the Sworn and Pie were at 9, and Blackstaff was at 2. Oh, but they're still after Airy, so LOL. We're all good.
Idiots.
Well.
Roll better initiative.
Yeah. So, he gets 1 attack, so he's going to do a longbow attack. He gets a +9 to that.
Yeah, he does.
So we're going to... Last chance for him to join. Alright. Oh, he didn't roll well, though. I rolled a 5 for him.
Oof.
So that's +9. That's going to be a 14. That's going to miss. So the arrow goes wide.
Can he
Wow.
bonus action attack?
He missed a 20-foot
think
tall
so.
target. Worst rogue ever.
Oh, no, doesn't he have an advantage? No, if he has advantage, gives sneak attack. That's what it is. Automatically gives sneak attack. Take a bonus action for each of your turns. Dash, escape, hide action. You can use your thieves tool, disarm a trap. Those are his bonus actions. Is there anything else you can do? Cast spell, unarmed strike, cunning actions, combat. Can he dodge? Interact with an object. Reliable talent. Proficiency bonus. You can treat a D20 roll. Nope. Okay, I think that's just it. He's not here to defend himself, so I can't help him.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so that goes away. It is now Pie's turn, and she's going to turn to Belfina and say, "Thank you very much. Much appreciated." As she once had an arrow through her throat and she was bleeding out. You saved her. Thank you.
Dude.
With that,
No
I believe
crab,
she
dude.
was given an arrow and she took an arrow attack last time. So she will do that again. And that will be a 2. That's missing. And as the arrow goes wide, as the Gaestro is flailing at this point, all the arrows at long range just seem to be either hitting them and bouncing off the non-vulnerable spots, or getting it too cute with the aiming and trying to hit where the arm was just cut off and isn't getting there. Now it's the Blackstaff's turn.
Yes.
Get him,
I'm pretty
Blackstaff.
sure Blackstaff's gonna give her the slap.
She could magic missile and that automatically hits.
Game
She has
over.
Nope. that's not-
Blackstaff is flashier than that. Right?
She sure is.
Well, I mean, she's around some people that she's not entirely trusting yet. Maybe she doesn't want to reveal too much of her
this
powers.
No. This is new. This is her chance to show that she's the Blackstaff
She
and
can
can
flex.
save King Brian and flex the power of their new alliance.
Alright.
That's how I see it.
That's a good.
I don't know how
valid-
the DM sees it, but that's how I see it.
I don't have any of my combat spells ready.
God,
Man,
thanks for the buff, nerd.
no problem.
God still
You
sucks.
probably know I'm gonna get her face.
You're so rude.
I'm gonna get
That
this
was below
thing
it. It
up.
wasn't me.
Let's see. I have her stat block up. Chain lightning is gonna hit a lot of people if I use that, right?
Yup.
So we're not gonna use that.
What are her cantrips?
Hey,
Her cantrips do
I know
48
someone that
damage
knows
if
that.
she's level 20.
She's 18.
Okay. So,
Uh,
still 3d8.
Cantrips, firebolt. Oh, that's 4d10. What is it? Increase by 1d10.
Just a fireball, just 20 damage on hit, basically. And on
Yeah,
average,
4d10.
On average.
You gotta
just-
drink it, otherwise I'm gonna finish it.
Mage hand. Message precipitation.
What the heck, dude? Maybe you
What-
should have
what
just
is-
gotten yourself a water.
You'd think that's a pretty large
I know, right?
beverage. That's
It's been
massive.
in our fridge for like
A while.
a day or two. But to be fair, like only this much of it was gone.
What is
Yeah, I
it?
guess a firebolt.
It's
I mean,
just
it's going to
lemonade.
do plenty of damage. So the black staff is going to make a range attack.
Minimal effort.
She's going to take her staff and she does a circle, and as she comes around the circle, sends off the firebolt from the top of the black staff.
Woo!
Black staff.
Nice.
Get 'em.
Yeah.
Hit him with the slap.
Let's see. Let's see if I can make it 3 for 3 in my rolls against
Get.
Maestro. Oh, that's going to hit. That's a 30 to hit.
Shut.
Easy.
Yuck.
So then that is 40-10.
10.
Gross, girl.
Firebolt is D10. Firebolt.
He says gross.
It says 4d10.
Okay.
In 17th level, 4d10. Yeah, everything's d10.
I believe you.
Well, I have it up in front of me, so I don't need to read things. So that is 8, 16, 22 points of damage to Gaestro.
Use my rolls. They're better.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh, hey, you
do you get
killed
a
it.
bonus attack when you like? What would your attack have been? I shot with an arrow and you missed. Could you do anything else if that happened?
Nope.
Cool.
No.
Well, just in time as Blackstaff gets, how do you want to do this? Let's go to as she sends a firebolt into the Gaestro's face, and as it enters into the Gaestro, it starts crackling. You start seeing all these bright red crackles in it, and all of a sudden from the inside you just see it, this bright light, and then comes in, and it turns to ash. So it's just like, and takes the explosion right back in, and the 60-foot Gaestro collapses into nothing, and we are
That's heavy. Oh my
ended
god.
combat. It's the best.
Oh, snap. Did you remove an arrow from my inventory?
No, but I did
Okay.
heal you because you were healed
Oh, nice.
for 18 points by Ulazal because he cares about us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And the other guy suicided himself, so he's dead, choking out on some cyanite right
How's
now.
Eve doing? I'm gonna walk over to Eve. Well, I'm gonna jog over
All right.
hastily to Eve.
No, let me get some nicer music going now.
I'm gonna
Actually-
jog over to one of the assassins if there's one still around.
There are 4 bodies? 4 bodies.
Four bodies.
Yeah.
I believe there's 4 bodies.
No Luke tonight?
Guess
I
not.
don't think so. I think he's busy again. Let's go back over here. Oh, cool.
What
It
a
still
bomb.
works. It's all set up. And then I can get rid of Taste for Blood. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that for now.
Whoa.
What?
Where nothing important happened at all.
Nope. Nope.
Double.
Not even a
We're
little
not
bit.
saying anything about it. Might come up organically.
What? How unimportant it was? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. God,
You're welcome.
somebody read my mind. I want to say it. I didn't, but he did.
Hey, Vera, did anything interesting happen 3 years ago?
Yeah. Right.
Nope, that was the most boring year of my life.
Yeah.
Are we still using this action pack music?
No, we just finished it, so that's why I'm changing it to something. I have low-key background at night. I don't know what this sounds like, so I'm guessing it's low-key.
It's naughty. NSFW, don't play it.
No, I don't think that's true. All right, you come over to Eve, and remember, Aerie stabilized her giving one of Readoff's potions.
Right, but
because she
she's-
has markings on her. She is missing an arm and a leg on the same side. It looks like as it was bitten off by massive maw or teeth. She looks very worse for wear. She is sweating and seems to be in a state of coma at this point. This is very familiar to you, to the state that Aerie was in when he fell in Fanland the night the crag maws attacked back at the town.
So, thinking back to then, did I tried normal healing, that didn't work.
Yep.
I don't know if I tried to use my lesser restoration at that time.
I don't know either, to be honest with you.
We were with Geraldine too. So,
You were, and she tried a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything that I could do to improve her condition right now?
You can make a medicine check for me. What is? So you checking the assassin bodies?
I'll make
Yeah.
Okay,
I want to
please.
see if there's one that's alive.
Loot the room!
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
18 on the medicine.
Would you say loot the room?
I did better than
Yes.
There, it's a teleporter room. You guys are in. Teleporter
No,
room that
it's-
hasn't been used in like 100,000 years.
20
I
total.
got a
It's-
24 on the medicine.
It's a phrase for the game Munchkin.
It's a game phrase. Yes. 24,
20.
18.
20, 18. You guys are killing it, man. You are just in the zone. You've been seeing dead people like crazy in the past 24 hours, and you're like, yep, I know what is and isn't dead. And this ain't dead. For you two. They're dead. Very dead from the bodies as you're checking one to one. I'll get to the details of that. But for Eve, she's still breathing. She's still in a coma state. You've never seen anything like this, obviously enough, because you weren't with the family crew back then. You have, and you remember it took just time, and then one day you came back and Aerie was okay. And Sister Geraldine was keeping him stable by isolating him off to his own place and periodically giving like cure wounds and restoration spells throughout the day that she could spare for him. And she was doing all of her best while managing any other people in town that she needed to heal. A lot of her time was focused on that, so it might be best to give Eve over to the local clerics here to try and have her stabilized if you were to try and save her. She is, as you know, the most prolific cleric you've ever met, so that could be a benefit to them if she could have come around.
Yeah. Knowing what I know about her condition and knowing what I know about the greater restoration spell,
Yes.
it does remove one curse.
Mhm.
Is this considered a curse?
No.
Okay.
You would know that because you tried to remove it from Aerie, and that did not work.
Oh, I was a weaker boy back then.
I wasn't as strong. Me and Tira are tight now.
Wasn't as balanced.
Yes.
I'm balanced.
No, not quite.
Serenity is
As Belfina Bellona
yeah.
checks the assassin bodies, I get the sense that you would be pretty rough with these bodies. Is that not right? Would you be delicate in the way you were searching these bodies, or your medicine checking them out, or is it more like tossing them aside, flipping their bodies to check for things, disarming them immediately, or is it more like careful? What's more her personality?
I'd say a bit rougher there.
All right.
Yeah.
That's initially, but I wanted to make sure.
Take all their money.
So she starts going through and she's taking out like daggers and just tossing that crap to the side, making sure there's no quick ones on her pulled. She's seen animals in the past play possum when they're injured and then lash out. Going through, this is clear that they made it a point not to have any identifying markings on themselves in case they were caught. The mirror that is by their area, the medicine check, is not quite an investigation check, but you're literally checking to see if they're alive and stable. So I'm pushing that into it as well because you're up in their business. That shatter on the floor, you're not sure what that much had to do with anything. It was weird for a Jamoke just to bring out a mirror and then throw it to the ground instantly. So,
I'll also cast Detect Magic as I'm looking.
okay.
See if there's anything weird.
On them, you don't see anything weird. They did have on them, I believe, just standard. Yeah, no, I got it. Standard daggers. You give me an investigation check if you want to find anything deeper than that. Nothing's glowing besides the normal stuff you guys know. There is a fire sword still burning inside one of them that you remove, and Kane comes over and in a language you don't understand nods to you and then takes the sword.
Tongues actually isn't concentration.
It isn't.
Yeah.
How long? An hour?
Let me double check.
As Kane,
Investigation?
yes,
25.
25. You start to find potions on these individuals. Certain small vials and bigger vials on them. You can make Arcana checks if you want to try and figure them out. As we talked about last time, you can try and dip a little and taste if you want. If you want to do that. By the looks of it, some bottles are black and markless, and some are clear, and they have a clear liquid in them.
Well, I'll just like sort of take them all out and
Yeah.
like sort of set them all like organized
Sure.
in like the center, not the center room, but sort of like
Yeah, in this whole area, as you're gathering, dragging the bodies over, none of them are alive. The cyanite one is super dead. The other ones are just dead in the sense that you guys beat them to death.
It is an hour.
What's that?
It is an hour.
It is an hour. Okay, so you could still hear Kane be like, thanks.
anytime. Man.
As you guys get the bodies all lined up, you see about 4 of the black ones and 3 of the clear ones of these
Okay.
either small, jar-ish looking ones or vials. 3 of the vials.
I'll just leave them there
Okay.
for now.
Daggers, bows and arrows, some standard stuff.
Give me the arrows.
The arrows, you can make a intelligence check for me.
I rolled an 11. Let's see. I think it's a 12.
That would be
Oh no, it's a 13.
13.
That's smarter
Actually,
than
give me
I
a
thought it was.
survival. Give me a survival with that. So
Survival.
use a survival modifier.
Okay. It's 20 then.
They are poison tipped arrows.
I
Some
don't
of
want
them.
them.
So you can
Hey.
add.
Hey,
I'm looking.
As Bellona's going through all this stuff, Ari finally like monitoring everything, and as she looks up, she's like poison tip to herself. Ari's like, "Hey, hi!" He starts walking over. What's going on?
What's going on here?
So between what's left of them, they have, I'd say, 8 poison-tipped arrows. Each of them had 2 left over from the 3 each that they had. They came here to assassinate. They weren't lugging around a whole bunch of arrows. They were very much trying to get the job done as soon as possible. So there's 8 you have total. You can add to your inventory, and then Ari can try and beat you up for them.
Did they have money?
You can make an investigation check, was all. As you stare at Eve, be like, can't help her, and that
Well, hold on. I would help her up, like gesture for one of the sworn or somebody who's around to come and help and tell them what her condition is.
You gotta give me a strength check. This is a lizard folk that is very heavy. She's probably around 300 pounds. She's very tall.
14?
14? You're
Hard.
struggling.
But, I'm like
Not
gesturing
bad.
for
yeah,
people to
yeah,
come over.
and Kane comes over.
All right.
As Kane sees you doing this, he's like, oh! And he has the swords, and he's like, tries to put one in the other hand, thinks for a second, and he goes, he puts one between his legs,
Oh, God.
spits on his hand, and extinguishes one fire, puts it, and he's just like, normally I have my belt, but I don't have my belt, so I can't. And then he spits on the other one, and he extinguishes that one, and he just got these 2 swords, and he just lays them down on the ground and walks over, sprints over to help you with Eve. And he gets underneath Eve and underneath her good arms and picks her up. And you can tell Kane's looking awfully rough as well from all the damage he's taken. He has taken no notice of all of his damage because he's been so concerned about whatever troubles have befallen him, Eve, and wherever he came from.
Wherever you two came from, looks like you sure took a beating.
It's underneath there. Yeah, it was madness. It was absolutely crazy. I need to tell you all about it. We just need to get Eve somewhere safe.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if the best person to talk to would be just one of the sworn, or if it would be Brian.
As Pi comes over, she is adorned in bride's uniform, and the black staff coming over, looking at Cain and Eve. They all gather around. They look to you, Ulazal, and they're like, "You know this one."
It's a long story, but they're good people, and they're on the right side. The one who's missing a few limbs is actually the greatest cleric that I've ever met. She could be a serious asset to you if you guys help her get well.
This time Pi
She brought
chimes
someone
in.
back. She brought Bosno back to life.
Ares shouts as he's like, Ares, come back without any arrows. Explaining that, you see eyebrows raise, and Pi goes, "Well, my goodness, I think that should be reason enough. Please, my friends, help. Your name was Cain." You see Cain. Yeah. For a moment, he's like, "Was it?" He is pretty out of it right now, a little punch drunk. He's like, "Please escort him to the nearest clerics, and we will assist in any way possible to get her back to health and heal you up, and then we all can have a conversation." At this point, they start walking away with the two of them, and Blackstaff looks over to Brian. "You all right? I see that was quite intense." She's like, "Yeah, murder can be pretty intense." "I'm fine, but nothing I can't shake off." And there's a little bit of this look of like Vera knows something's not right, because Brian going down that fast doesn't sound right to her. But then again, there was a whole war fought the other day. "Well, I should finish my circle so we can establish our connection with Waterdeep. But it is..." She turns to the group that's still here. "Concerning that lizard folk are allies to you?"
They're members of the Strongclaw.
The Strongclaw. I have not heard of them. Do you not know of the Madness lizard folk?
I believe we do. I believe we do.
We're very familiar.
I'm not
And
sure
have you
to
guys seen
what
it?
extent, though.
Oh, Mazda
In
knows.
Skoberheim,
Y'all
Yes,
know. I would
yes,
say y'all
yes,
know.
Yes,
O'Brien.
yes.
Y'all know.
Yep.
we
I don't
saw
know.
one.
You would probably
We
know.
learned
That's
all
the
about
only
it there.
thing
We're
that's
very
happening
familiar
now.
with
You
it.
haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen him,
Yeah.
though. I might have heard
Not,
rumors.
Yeah.
but
not all,
Yeah.
I
not
saw
all lizard
one.
folk carry the madness, and clearly, not all madness indicates an enemy.
Very true. But it is what our stroke of good or bad luck. Not 2 years ago, or rather 6 months ago, Reed's getting his timelines wrong. 6 months ago, the forces of the Ivory Tusks had to be pulled away because there was a infestation of madness lizard folk invading Minna. The numbers, they say, are impossible to believe. They dwarf any army in all of Atul.
In Minna?
What happened to the Madness Army?
As far as we know, they're at a stalemate with the Ivory Tusks right now. The Ivory Wall keeps them out. They say the army's numbers are that of almost all the cities doubled in all the world of Atul. That is most concerning. Make a history check, everybody that was at Strongclaw, which I believe was everybody. You were at Strongclaw.
Ooh,
Yes.
baby.
How did you get here?
Duh.
How did you get here?
History
11.
Yep. 11,
21.
21,
15.
15,
I want to say it's 14.
14. What'd you get, Ari?
Natural 20 for a 22.
Nice.
Ari beats everyone to the punch, but you remember this well, and everyone's, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. You remember Eve told you when you were looking at all the sickness inside Strongclaw that at one point the Strongclaw were 300,000 strong, and they were down to 50,000 by the time you guys reached them. So those numbers are in your head, and you're like, well, there's 250,000 unaccounted for. Who knows where the fuck they are?
And that's
how-
also just one city of
Yeah.
the entire
Yeah.
They were the biggest
essentially
tribe, though.
continent.
They were the
But
biggest tribe.
We did run into others.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you've got 10 tribes of smaller numbers,
Yes.
that's a lot.
Yes, it certainly is, especially when you talk about the numbers of what's going on in forces for the current war happening in Atul. So that's just something that can hit your characters and start registering what's going on down there. And a nice little information that the Ivory Tusks have their own crap to deal with right now, so they aren't going to be able to bail
Oh
out.
yeah.
They're not part
Yeah.
of the Cobalt Alliance.
They are.
too?
They are.
Oh, they are.
They
but
are. They absolutely
they're dicking
are.
around with their own
The,
thing.
yeah, but they got pulled back. You know, because the symbols were there. One of the inner circles, the mage you saw was there, the necromancer,
Right.
and giant elephants were there with their
Right.
symbols adorned
Yep.
on them.
Yep.
So they are a part of it.
Oh, I still need to get that ivory.
Yeah. So you guys can choose to share those numbers with Blackstaff or not. You don't have to.
I will choose to share that.
Okay. Blackstaff.
We traveled through the kingdoms of the lizard folk. And just in the largest city alone, there were numbers greater than one would imagine. If you think maybe this is because from what we've seen before, at least in the lizard folk, the madness seems to unify them under something. So if all the creatures if many of the population was afflicted by the madness between multiple villages, it could easily account for an army of that magnitude.
Well, that is very interesting to hear in a way that can help confirm these suspicious rumors and really make us contemplate the looming shadow not too far from us. The good news is, she looks over to Brian, and Brian smiles. She knows where this is going already. We have the wonderful kingdom of Scoba as a buffer between us and them. Everyone shares a laugh as Calgary and Salem come close to the group, going side by side of Blackstaff, with everybody in here. The Sworn with helping out Kane and Eve as they exit out of this area, and Brian looking to everybody right now. Pie, Brian, going, all right, well, let us take some time to decompress. I will stay here with you, Blackstaff, and you can finish your teleportation circle as we can figure out what we want to do. You're welcome to stay the night. You will have our guidance and our guards with you. Everyone, feel free to use some of the private springs we have here. The soldiers have the public ones to use and ease their wounds and their sores, but we have natural springs that I tend to frequent. You are all welcome to use them to try and heal and relax.
What time of day is it?
Noon? Remember, you woke at dawn for planning?
Yeah.
You guys have barely, your day is, it's going, man.
Salem, was it?
You talked to Salem already, so yes, you would.
Oh yes, Salem.
Yes, Ari.
Um,
As everyone starts dispersing. Well, actually, as you stay back,
Wait,
as he's
did they have money? Sorry.
the assassins.
Yeah.
No. Whatever your investigation check is, no. Because why would they carry money?
But we're poor. You gotta
Sure.
check.
Sure.
Some of us are poor.
Some of you are. Black Sabbath
About-
right now taking the chalk
expensive
back out,
clothes.
redoing as the
we
runes
should
have faded.
try and track down a map of Water Deep, so I can give you some indications about.
Tendorf or Waterdeep?
Or Tendorf, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny enough, we had a stranger visit us not too long ago named Reedoff, who gave us a pretty good map of Waterdeep I can give you. And at that, you see Brian still standing there going, yeah, he visits here too. He has a way of
He's-
showing everybody the world.
He's still alive?
Yes, and you know what? We have plenty of maps from him. And she motions to one of her sworn that has still stayed behind to send a message to go get a map. And at that, she does this, and you totally know this sworn has no magical capabilities to send this, and yet a map comes in a few minutes later. Because someone's listening.
Who?
And you guys now have access to the map of the world, according to
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Yeet.
I have
afraid
one
of
of
that.
those.
Yes, it's that.
It's
Go
that.
ahead. Yeah.
Justin,
They
it's
haven't
that.
seen it, so they can have it. Go ahead, let them show it.
Can I move the battle map?
Oh yeah, let me get the battle map out of here.
Oh, is this is the same one from?
The grand reveal, Emily.
Well, it's a rough draft one.
It's the
things
grand reveal.
They're really tiny.
The text is really small.
It's really small.
I'm still excited.
Yeah.
You
You,
should
get,
be.
you just get a general layout of it for now. The final draft will definitely have much bigger text.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Map of the world. As
Map
per
of the
me.
world.
Since you guys are in...
His handwriting's a little small.
Yes, indeed it is. One of the side effects, apparently, he gets terrible cramping from all the map making he makes and all the copies he did. There is a better copy with larger fonts, but that's Brian's. It's ours. as a slip up happens. Where is the?
Hey Ralia.
Yes.
You have any way to talk to the dead people?
I'm reviving them as you speak. Ralia right
No,
now
no,
is
no, no,
trying
no,
to
no,
summon
no.
them to her side. She don't care. She's definitely trying to necromance.
No,
these
Ralia,
things.
Ralia. You're a smart person.
What?
There might be
No.
some information about the whereabouts of this plot.
Let's see. Can I
So
talk
if
with the
there's,
dead? Is what
yeah.
you're suggesting?
Speak with
Yes.
Let me see if I can speak with the dead.
She's a cleric, so she
Otherwise,
might
I'm
have
bringing
it.
them back.
Well,
Totally
you can do
understand.
both.
And she turns like she's caressing the face in a way too, and she's just like talking for them already. She's already like sizing it up
She's like-
like cattle. Like these are good. These are things that are good.
I think I can speak.
This is award winner at the fair here. This is the blue ribbon right here.
I'm looking for what?
I don't know.
Speak with dead.
Speak with dead. What level spells that?
I don't
I am
know.
not sure.
Not seeing
It's a
it.
cleric spell, so she might not have it since she doesn't. She's multiclassed.
She is up into the 5th level, and I don't see it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Worst death cleric ever.
Oh, she can't animate dead again
Can't
today.
even talk to the dead. Fucking trash.
It's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Animate dead.
What?
Oh, she has tons of animate dead.
I don't
so
have
never
it
mind, she can
prepared.
still do it. 3rd level. She can do animate.
Sorry.
She doesn't want to talk. She just wants to bring them back.
Yes, that's very
so
true.
dumb.
You are
very
just
true.
meat to me.
I don't typically talk to them. I just bring them back.
That seems like a waste of knowledge.
It does. I will consent to this for the future. She turns to her little crow on her shoulder and goes, "You think she could do something?" The crow looks worth asking. Go ahead and roll percentage die for Luke.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
50% on the dot.
Nah.
She looks at them. No, nothing's going to happen today. Drops the head back as it splatters, and she'll probably blow in it. Animate dead is that's 5th level. She's not going to use that. 3rd level. This spell, servant, choose a pile of bones or corpses. How many for this level? Cast a spell using a spell of 4th or higher. You animate, controls over 2 additional. So do you get 2 to start? Just 1?
I don't know.
I don't know. Read the
I'm not a
spell.
necromancer.
I'm reading it. Yeah, I think it's 2, so he's gonna burn 2 level 3s to steal them. Or does he have got level 4? Oh, he was level 4, so we'll get 3 out of this. So Ralia starts with her hands over them and starts caressing all these beautiful blue periwinkles into their skulls, and she starts singing a little lullaby, and one by one their eyes come back to life, and they stand next to her, one after the other. 3 standing.
No matter how many times I see it, it never gets easier.
As she's looking at the face again, she just gives it a big whack! And the thing just turns, she goes, "This'll do." You see Blackstaff, like, she's now on the opposite side so she can face what's happening of the circle she's getting the runes in. You know, wizards we see with necromancy typically don't stick around too long. You see Brian. she did kill a lot of people. A lot of kobolds. Lots and lots of them.
Oh man.
All right. What else are you guys doing?
That would kill, man.
Before I head off with Salem,
Yep.
Velota,
Hey.
could I snag some of those arrows?
Sure, I got some right here. I'll take out some normal arrows.
Man, didn't tell us.
You better roll a fucking sleight of hand.
No, I don't know which ones you're talking about. I'm just gonna take some normal arrows out.
I said poison arrow.
No, you didn't.
You said arrows.
You said
You said
arrows.
some of those
So-
arrows.
You did say
some of those
arrows, but
poison.
also, oh, she did mutter to herself, so you do know they're poison arrows. Okay, yeah, sure.
These?
She holds
hold
up
up
the
regular
normal
arrows?
arrows.
No, the ones you just picked up.
Oh yeah,
Come
those.
Share the loot.
Share the loot. Well, entitled.
You hear some of the other people. Yeah, those are adventurers. Salem and Calgary looking to one another. That's about right.
I'll give him half.
Okay. You get 4 poison arrows.
Monsnall, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. Just killed that big ass thing. That was awesome.
How does he look?
I don't know. Right now, do you actually look?
I got like 1 or 2 deep gashes and a bruise, but I'm not too bad.
I'll place a friendly hand on his shoulder and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
You feel balance return to your body as what was once throbbing in pain now has this beautiful homeostasis of peace.
10 points of healing.
As you heal.
All right.
Harry,
That's even better. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
Harry,
Yes.
you dabble in poison often?
Not frequently, but I'm familiar with it.
Keep my eyes peeled for you. I happen to I've happened to run into a few different types in my day, and if I see the right plants, I might be able to help you out.
Ooh,
And myself, for that matter.
I like this.
Who wants to go splunking?
Spelunking where?
We gotta get that ivory.
What?
Oh my god. You all were offered bath too, so let's all can go get the ivory while you guys bath if
I
that's
think I'd rather take a bath.
what you
but-
want to do.
It's
Up to
noon!
you.
It's noon!
It is noon. It is
I
noon.
don't know, a nice relaxing bath after some combat.
2 days.
I'm gonna go have
We
a
can
conversation
get that
with
ivory
Salem.
whenever.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go right now.
All right.
Because I'm gonna
All
forget
right.
if I don't.
All right.
All right,
Um,
Mr.
The
Serious
bath
here.
would soothe us all.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that bath.
All right. As you guys split off and split the party, Ozal faces the final boss by himself.
Roll for divine intervention.
Anyway, you guys go towards the baths. They help you, guide you to the correct area for the more private baths. As you enter into that area, you see some of the other house lords inside there, the tiefling and the dwarf in particular. The tiefling is by a window right now, and you can see he's blowing out smoke as he's taking puffs from a long pipe and going out there. The other one, you see the dwarf as he sees you all walk in and goes, oh, it's starting to look like a party in here. Does anybody have some God-loving ale?
Nada, man.
Nothing on me. Sorry.
Gods be damned this aleless city! You see the tiefling just as he goes in and
Could I try to? What is the smoke that's coming out of this smell like?
it has a very give me a actually you can just smell it. Give me a very berry roll. It smells fruity. It's like if you went really close to
He's vaping.
apples. Yeah. It smells like an apple orchard to you. It seems like a strange mixture of whatever he's getting in his pipe right now. And the pipe's not your standard, like, curvy pipe. It's very much like straight down type of deal. So it's kind of like a vape, but it looks more like a flute type of deal.
What you got in there?
Smoke? Smoke? As he hands it to you. Give me a con save to see if you develop lung cancer.
That's really good.
I wasn't serious, but now I'm curious.
19.
Not today. Not today.
Yes!
And you don't even cough as it goes down pretty easily. It seems like it's one of the easier ones, not hard on the lungs. Gives you a slight high as you take a whiff of it, and you're like, whoa, man, I'm a little more cheerful right now. As you hand it back to the individual who's taken hard rips of it. For somebody that is chilling out in the waters, he's more up on a stone by the window, and you can tell he's sort of forced right now to be by the window because that's the only window here he can blow smoke out of, and you can't be in the water smoking. The dwarf is not modest whatsoever, half standing out of the pool right now, but because of his short size, though, still covering up to the nips. But he is like full on looking at the group like, need Dale.
Yeah, I'm gonna saunter off to a corner and not be bothered as much.
Sure. I mean, there's multiple pools.
Oh, there's
as
multiple?
well.
Oh, I want to find one by myself.
Yeah.
Is Kane here?
Kane is not here yet. Kane is still next to Eve at the moment. You can go try and track down Kane too to see what he's up to, and maybe invite him over.
Yeah. I'll never do that.
God damn it. Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, man.
Uzal, you're outside, and you can see right now that they've made some progress, not enough, but they've started loading bodies into one side of the trench that was created, and they're just setting torches and burning bodies. They're trying to get as much of this out of their... It smells really bad, and they're lucky right now that the wind it's blowing downwind away from the city, so they're hoping this holds out long enough so we don't have the terrible smell of rotting flesh or burning flesh going on. Yeah. But there are, deep down, about 40 feet, are mangled, gigantic mammoths, or elephants down there, rather.
Well, it just so happens I have 50 feet of rope.
Cool.
So I'm going to tie the rope off to something secure.
Yep.
Probably like a big boulder or something.
You're in a wide open field that was dealing with war. And then this is
heavy
like...
chunk of rubble.
I mean, this got cracked open by the Tarask. Where you're at, there's not really anything to anchor it to. You got to find something. You got to make something.
Is there anyone nearby?
Yeah, there are. So,
hey, can you give me a hand?
You see one of the soldiers who's just like dropping, one of the drow soldiers dropping bodies in, just like, yeah. Comes over dirty. He's got all sorts of like gore on him, and they seem to have gloves. It doesn't seem to be their like war attire. It's definitely like janitor hazmat trying to pick up whatever death has out here. He comes over. What can I do for you for?
I need to go and get some components down from those beasts. What I need you to do is hold this rope while I go down there and get what I need.
Sure.
Does he look strong?
He looks moderately strong.
I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and cast Enhance Ability.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give him bull strength.
Oh, wow.
So his strength checks are made at advantage.
Okay.
So I have full confidence in your ability to do this.
You know, I'm not always so certain of myself, but you bring a balance to me. Yeah, let's do this. This is much better than throwing bodies in a ditch. Let's go. All right.
Hand of the rope.
All right.
That around my waist.
All right.
And I go.
All right. Give me an athletics check at advantage, and he rolls at advantage as well. Was on the table.
Natural 20.
All right.
Yeah.
You rolled pretty poor though, but your natural 20 balancing it out. As at first you see him go a little bit, it's like one of those things where you feel strong, but then you're really, really weak for a second. But then you give him this look, and you're like,
"You've been working hard. You can do this."
Oh, you're right. Whew, that day, moving all those bodies exhausts you, but I got like my second wind. You're like, as you're going down, it's like this priest being outwardly friendly, but now I have my motives. All right, you're down here next to giant tusks that are sticking out. How do you plan to cut these massive, bigger than you tusks?
I'm gonna divine smite the shit out of them.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna take my staff
Yep.
and I'm going to divine smite them so they
You have a
break off.
staff?
Yeah, I have the staff of defense.
Oh yeah, you got that
Yeah,
stuff. Good.
You remember when I
No.
stole it from?
Oh
it was
my
like the
god.
first dungeon.
That's
I've been using that ever since.
glass staff.
Yeah.
My god.
Yeah, yeah. It's done good for me.
Man, glass staff right now.
Rip him.
He's not ripped. But he's just out where he is in this location right now. You just feel like,
So
mine.
I can two hand this thing for a decent amount of damage, and then I can.
You're swinging at it with the glass staff?
It's designed for this.
Okay.
It's a magical weapon.
Yep.
And then I can add divine smite on top of it to do extra juice.
Okay.
Extra
You can't use
juice.
two-hand it unless you tie yourself to the rope around your waist and then do like a wall thing and start whacking.
I can't get onto the ground.
No, I mean it goes for a while.
Oh, okay.
Like they're so big. Like if you want to go to the ground, that'll be like another 60 feet.
Oh, okay.
They're just chucking bodies. The terrace literally caused like a tectonic plate shift when he opened it up.
Okay. So if
It's a ravine at this point.
if I crack off a good portion of this, am I going to be able to get some like shards? Okay.
The thing's massive.
Okay.
You're looking at like Simba level elfin graveyard giant tusks where there's enough to build like a tower for a castle if you lopped it off and put it on the ground.
Okay.
I'm sure all the people who are for humane rights are loving my description right now.
I'm gonna try that then. I'm
All right.
gonna crack it.
All right, start cracking.
Just roll the hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Shit balls. 8 for the first one.
Jesus. You're hitting it, but it's solid. These are tusks of a gigantic creature.
All right.
So keep rolling and try and get hits here.
That one's better. That's an 18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so that's 11 damage.
All right. For the next 30 minutes,
Cool.
you labor away trying to get little pieces by pieces off, some fracturing. Like,
This is gonna
they
be
fall
worth it.
down, and then you start making plans. Ulazar's like, all right, you take your cloak a little bit, and then you get your hood, and you'll get your hood in the right way, and then you go and take a swing, and it's getting a little in the hood, and the other one's like, I have a bag, and you're like, toss it in the back! And there's this whole sequence going on of this very disheveled wizard cleric trying to get chips and pieces of a gigantic mammoth tusk in a giant ravine, but he's going to make progress over the next 30 minutes to an hour.
All right.
Masno, you find yourself back into a similar area, no longer where Brian is, but now Eve is, and Kane is by Eve's side holding her hand to his head as he just has his eyes closed, as other clerics are around trying to heal, and you approach him.
Just gonna come up beside him, put my hand on his shoulder.
He's unmoving for a second, for a little bit, and then he turns and looks, and he starts talking, and you understand him. It seems like one of the clerics here probably got a single word out of his mouth before they're like, oh no, I'm not dealing with this, and possibly cast a spell similar to what Ulazal did earlier. Ulazal is much too busy to be bothered with that spell now. Hard cut. Hard cut back.
What else am I gonna do? None of my friends wanted to come with me.
Yeah, it's great. They're all chilling and relaxing right now. All the sores inside, the rest of you you're feeling really revitalized. This seems to be a natural spring inside it. It is very, very relaxing. Probably somewhere not even size. It has many different circular, rectangular pools in this, but it's in the area of about 20 separate pools of varying sizes. Some are very small, some are much larger. The much larger one were shared by the two house leaders that were in there. But you find yourself really relaxed. If you had any conditions, they would be removed at this point.
Nice.
And you're healing. You get an extra 10 healing if you haven't healed already today. You took damage. So you can add that as well during this moment.
HP,
And you can
yeah.
take a short rest.
Feels good.
Before I want to respond to Zach,
Yep.
last time we all went on an adventure with Ulazal, it didn't end very well.
That's fair. That's very.
No one goes with Ilazol anymore. Let's go to Scoper High!
Oh God!
Never
Worst-
again.
Worst idea ever.
That was never drawn up, man. You spearheaded that one.
Oh boy.
I appreciate you being here, friend.
Of course.
It's crazy.
How is she?
Not good. I've never seen her like this. This is Kane's accent now, ever changing and nearly southern. I think I agreed on
He was a
southern last
cowboy,
time.
right?
He was a cowboy last time, so
I was like, he was southern last time, but then he wasn't. But now he's
It's fine. This is what
He's
he
a
is
cowboy.
now.
I love
He's
it.
a cowboy.
He's a cowboy.
I like the cowboy.
It's what sticks. All those different spells, giving them different accents. You
Rick,
finally hit the right one. Shortly after you all left,
That's it. No,
Yeah,
keep going.
okay.
That's it. Keep going.
we were attacked. We didn't have the means to defend ourselves. It was our own kin, our own kind, but there was one of the tribes, those who praise the water, dared attack us. They weren't sick. It was horrible. And there was one great minotaur with them, bigger than the rest of them. It stood unparalleled size, and I've seen my size of big ass creatures fought and killed them too. Well, the world keeps turning out these gigantic beasts, and I can only cut so hard. He was wielding some blue glowing object, that something I imagine Eve would use typically, and it just devastated us. I was going to look for survivors, but then I found Eve. After someone talked to me. Do you hear voices in your head?
Not usually.
Me neither. But then, a bunch of people, the hell was his name? He started talking to me in my head, and then didn't reply. Rude.
Oh, he's gonna get it.
I don't know.
Name
I was in the
sounds
middle
familiar.
of trying to regain my composure after an incursion, and then another one hit. And then I found our Eve, and I need to get back as well. Go see if there's any survivors anymore. I think there should be. We're strong. But I think we were devastated. The sick, we tried to protect them. They were easy pickings.
Oh.
I failed them, Mosnell. Failed my clan. Failed my people. Couldn't even protect Eve. I feel like dying. I swear to God, should have died on that battlefield. I've disappointed everyone I once swore to protect.
My friend, you've saved Eve. You brought her here to be healed. And you have not yet failed your people.
I hope.
You can go back, set things right. You did not fail anyone.
Well, back there is pretty fucked up. And here's kind of nice. Just gonna put that out there.
Well,
We could make a bomb.
But I'm not going to impose. These are your friends. They seem to be, if they're not friends, they are awfully accommodating.
oh, I think they're friends now. I'm also. This is my homeland. I'm from this area.
You live like a king.
Not here.
Oh.
Outside the city.
I'm in a city right now?
Yes. You're in Winter's Hold.
Nope.
Nature's old.
Try again.
Nature's Hold.
There you go. You would know this. You're good.
Yes.
Right on. Big ass city.
Yes, it is.
Well, I don't see a lot of good right now for me sitting by Eve's side. They seem to know what they're doing. Should have seen the monsters that came after us. I mean, the creatures that roam the lands, the thunderfoots and curved claws, their maws were voracious. And they were separating us in two. It's a miracle Eve didn't lose more than what she did.
And you said they were not sick with the madness.
Some of them weren't. Minotaurs weren't, and even some of the lizard folk didn't. Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right about them. When I see the madness with them, there's a different sort of madness. They get this purple glow on them. They bruise. This was different. It didn't look right. They looked sickly in a different way.
It's troubling.
Sure is. I mean, these were some of my kin we sent on the long walk. We don't expect to ever see them come back. And here they were, killing one another.
Well, I hope things start to look up moving forward.
Thank you, Mosno.
If you feel like Eve is in good hands, we're rejuvenating, cleaning in the baths. Get some, refresh ourselves if you're interested in joining.
Hey, that sounds about right. I feel like straight ass right now, so.
I think a nice warm bath will do you wonders.
All right. As he joins you, you guys go up to the baths. He goes into a bath. You can see, like, as his skin touches the bath itself, you can see, like, his scales, like, lift and go down a little bit, too. They don't, like, open up or anything, but you can tell there's, like, a movement. There's a clear reaction to the change in temperature with these cold-blooded creatures getting into warm water like that. Kane goes in there. You're free to join Kane if you want, or take your own, as everybody else is pretty passed out and passive right now, besides Ulazal. I need answers! He's sweating. He's exhausted. His arms are killing him right now. The other one's like, hey, everything all right? Yes!
Do I have enough
For an hour?
for a legend lore spell?
How much is that?
I think it's 50 gold worth.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
How much is it at this point?
Yeah, you probably, from what you've been cutting out for the past hour, you're around 250 gold.
Hell yeah, dude!
Sweet. We get to know everything.
We'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
I also need a bunch of incense, but that's easy enough for me to come by.
All right.
I got some of that in there.
Are you sitting with Kane or somewhere else?
How big is the bath?
But depending on which pools, Kane got into one of the bigger ones. There's 20 different ones of varying sizes, some gigantic, some not.
Well, I'll join them.
All right. As you
I'm
walk
not
into,
shy.
you guys are going off, and you see the dwarf has dozed off, but then he hears footsteps, and you guys go around the corner before he can ask for ale, and he's like, fuck. And he goes back down. As you guys are in there, you take a long rest between the two of you, heal up some more, and Kane
Long
starts...
rest.
Short rest. Kane starts thinking, should probably head back there. Do we have any casters to get back? Because I just sort of slammed Eve's staff down a bunch with it in her hand, and we ended up here.
That is 100% how magic works.
I don't know if she was still conscious or not. I thought I did some magic. But I don't think I can get back without somebody else. You think
Black stuff.
You think somebody could help us get over there?
Absolutely.
Oh, all right, that puts me at ease then.
Yeah, they have a whole room for that sort of thing.
We can get you there.
Probably does.
The room you appeared in is made for that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's terrific news. Remember, the room you went in was, according to Eve, made for that thing too and unused for many years. Seems like these people used to
Zip zap zoom.
do the thing. As he looks with you with no way to describe the arcane. Maso and Kane having the talk, man. They're like they're on a level they understand. Finally, someone not talking down to them.
I'm gonna stick my whole head in the bathroom.
Big laugh from Kane as he loves it. Does it himself a little bit, but chokes a little on the water.
Nice.
Yep, just Mosnell in his glory.
Beard.
Alright, so after you guys have done that, you've all rest except Ulazal, who is coming back sweaty and exhausted.
Oh, thank God.
Back
These
to the
pools
city.
look fantastic.
You get in as everyone's getting out.
we were about to leave. No, we're busy. We gotta go.
Yeah, we got stuff to do.
So what does everybody want to do?
How long did it take me and Salem to run through our stuff?
Oh, wait. Oh, for the map? Give me a history check if you can recall the distance of the map, as you and Salem can do this now, too. Because you guys are doing that next to each other. As I uncurl a map, thanks for reminding me, and we start looking at 10 Dwarfs map, and you start pointing out areas.
14.
You would have advantage, though, actually. So the 14 is still a good roll, but to be fair, you would have advantage because of your background.
Ooh.
14.
Oh!
Let's go, dude!
It was in the cards.
You're able to show a couple places, but it's not coming to you some of the more keen routes you would take, and you assure Salem, like, it'll come back to me, but this is a good start for you at the very least, of some extra places, some keen things that are no longer showed on the updated maps that they have, and Salem thanks you and is very happy with the results.
It wasn't me.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Did we have the other Grey Hood with us?
Yeah, Calgary's standing right by your side, because you're both doing this over Blackstaff, who is doing the symbols. Brian's right next to you guys during this whole process. You're all doing this in the room right now, yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, Pie. Yes. Brian is there. Right here.
Hey, Calgary.
You see
You
Calgary?
wouldn't happen to know about an incident in Tendor a few years back.
How many years back?
Salem, when you were describing something
See
that
Salem.
you were looking into.
Oh, yes. We're talking about an incident that happened. I don't know if you were a part of it. In the paperwork that I had that I left back at Waterdeep, go figure, there was something where they were getting documents away from the Kobold Alliance that we were able to cover and learn about their nefarious intentions, their war plans, some of the artifacts. I got the details of that, but I didn't really know much about the mission. And as you know, I've been slow to get updated on everything as we are right now. Calgary looks at him.
What did you know about
His
that?
eyes narrows like,
Bro, come on.
Bruh.
yeah, I know about it.
Did you know the people involved?
Yeah, I was there.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of the longest days of my life. That's for sure.
Do you know anything about the name Mason D'Angelo?
D'Angelo.
Oh, you see, I'm sitting there making a roll. One moment. Come on. Yeah, I got it now. I couldn't remember a name. Sounds like that's one of the friends Torleaf made. I think he mentioned he was one of the ones that showed up in a not too flattering burial when we were how was one described being trapped inside a hellish gothic mausoleum labyrinth. If that makes any sense, which it sure didn't in the moment, and out of my mouth still doesn't.
Burial?
Like a Was he a friend of yours?
He was.
Oh, shit. Ugh, I'm sorry. And there's no good way of putting this, but he was pinned to the wall like a dog. It was terrible. I guess it was a changeling, right? He was done in Tendorf. We can only assume by the Cobalt Wolves, and they used that to try and get back at that crew during our altercation, and it was mighty fucked up. I'm sorry to tell you it that way, and I wish it wasn't true, but those kobolds are absolute bastards. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Silence hits the group, and you can tell them all, and you see Salem just look at this like, oh, fuck me. One of these things where he's so behind, he's one of those people catching up like, God, I'm so out of the loop, and I'm supposed to be in the loop. I feel like such a disappointment. You see him like, well, I think we should have a nice conversation at night, Calgary, over this, and help me catch up on the importance of this. Did anything of significance happen? You see Vera on the ground.
Oh god.
Just to herself
Oh god.
as she's wrapping it up. Really, Salem?
Oh god.
There's a reason certain papers go across your desk. She's like, I've been back less than a couple weeks. Like, what do you want from me? That's right. I guess you're very deep into your research with Xandathar. Have you found any locations with Xandathar? We're busy right now, aren't we? Look at us in the north. Can't be looking for Xandathar at the moment, can I?
Oh, Salem.
Right.
Oh, Salem. No.
I think it's time we go take a break and maybe relax with those showers. That's where I'd like to go, to those springs right now. Calgary with me, Salem. Come on, let's go. As they start walking away, they stop for a second. She goes, one moment. She goes on the teleporter and uses the circle. Goes off. A few moments pass by and you see Salem there like, I got work to do. I could have. You see Calgary just like, that's so fucking awkward. You just leave me with the guy's friend that just... There's just this awkward standing right now where Brian and the Sworn are like talking to another, ignoring it. You're all just standing there looking, and then she comes back and you have seven. Is it 8 or 7? I believe it could be 8 total. I think it's 8 total. 7 other soldiers of Waterdeep now here in full plate armor, spears and shields with her, and you see her come with them. I figured this would be a nice, easier way to start putting good faith forward, sharing some of our troops here and aiding into the defense of Nature's Hold, and also escorting me to the baths. So the group heads out. Brian.
Jeez. That's excessive.
Nah.
Brian looks is just like, okay. Right then.
Harry just kind of lingers for a moment as everyone's leaving.
Yeah. Brian takes off as well, puts a hand on your shoulder. Truly, I'm sorry to hear of your loss. We are going to take down the Cobalt Alliance brick by brick. They have caused irreplaceable harm to the North and our people. The North will never forget. And she walks off. So you're by yourself at the moment. And you see something while you're all alone in here. Sitting on one of the teleporters. It's curved a bit, You see these legs just swing bit by bit. You see your brother just chilling out on a teleporter pad.
I pull out the dark coin,
Mm-hmm.
look at it for a little bit. Is it doing anything?
Nope.
I attempt to approach.
When you look up, he's gone.
This. I go to where he was sitting.
You sit, and you can tell. You get a good look around this chamber. Now empty, echoing, holes in it from the war. Recalling where you guys came in here. Take notice of the arrangement of 11 different teleport circles and one giant one in the middle. The giant one in the middle also clearly seems to be a teleport circle. The sizes make things a bit strange and make you scratch your head just a bit. And for there, we're going to have to end it as you're contemplating it because it's a quickie. It's already past 9:45. And we'll pick this up with the next session, contemplating what we do next.
We gotta go get those storm giants eventually, guys.
Yeah.
I got what I needed
The
from
storm giants.
Yeah. So there we are.
Now we have information.